So, do you have yourself the GoPro Hero 8 Black and you're looking for an ND filter solution? I've got one from Freewell, and that's coming right up. Now imagine using ND filters as a sunglasses for your action camera so that you can achieve some of that natural, nice motion blur when you adjust the ISO and shutter speed. But with the GoPro Hero 8, there's a little bit of an issue since it is a slimmer profile and you cannot remove the lens on it. So if you actually damage the lens, the problem comes in to where you're going to end up having to replace the entire camera. So one of the first things that I did, and it has nothing to do with Freewell, but I got one of these little clear glass protectors. So there's one on the front lens area and also one on the back touchscreen. And I'll put a link to that below in the description. But let's take a look and see what's inside the box of this Freewell. So we've got the metal protective case, which is what you're going to have to use since there's no way to actually put the ND filters on. So we've got the polarizing filter, we've got an ND4, an ND8, and an ND16. From what I understand, Freewell is coming out with an ND32, which will come really in handy when it's really bright outside. And here in Texas, it's always bright in the summertime. Let's take a look at the case. There you got an Allen key, got the case itself. Let's see what's inside the envelope. Little cleaning cloth, lens basics, what is ISO? So that's kind of neat that they include this in so that teaches you a little bit about aperture and all that. So you can learn. That's one thing that's really nice about Freewell. They do teach you about ISO and aperture and all that. So nice aluminum case. You've got your two little fingers here for your GoPro mounts. Now the GoPro Hero 8 does have the built-in fingers, but they are a little on the flimsy side. So it's nice to see that they've added that onto here. Let's see how it fits. Slide it right in. And it still works with the screen protector, so that's good. So you can see the slim line of the lens here. Let's see how these fit on. We'll start with the polarizer. Try not to get any fingerprints on it. See, it does seem to have a little bit, it's got a little bit of a cushioning edge right around the inside. So we'll take this, and this just gently fits right over. And it's kind of a snug fit too, that's nice. You shake the camera around and it will not fall off. So let's go outside and take a look at some footage with the polarizer and also the different ND filters. And I'm going to keep the ISO set at 100. Shutter speed, since I'm going to be recording 4K 30, I'm going to do it 1/60th. And so I got access to the power button, cold shoe, and access to the battery drawer, so you can actually pull out the battery and replace it, or get your SD card, or you can actually just take the door completely off if you wanted to run an external microphone. But let's take a look and see how the footage looks. All right, this is 4K, 30 frames per second, ISO at 100, and shutter speed at 1/60th, since I'm shooting 30 frames per second. And this is with nothing on it, just so you could see how overblown the image is. Now this is with the ND4 on. A little bit better, but still a little bit overblown. Now this is with the ND8. And now using the ND16. Now it's late in the afternoon, so it's still pretty bright outside. Not like it would be at noon, but this gives you a rough idea of the ND filter, and you still get that nice little motion blur when you double your shutter speed over the frame rate. Now once again, no ND filter, ISO is at 100 and shutter speed is at 1/60th. Now with the ND4, still too overblown. Now with the ND8, and now with the ND16. Now as you can see, it is a lot better. Still, in my opinion, some overblown areas right in this portion of the screen. We'll take a look and stick it in the computer to see how the shadow areas, if they're totally crushed or not. But in my opinion, this filter set requires one extra stop of neutral density. Well, I can't say stop, but one extra step of neutral density to go to an ND32 to really help with this overblown area. And I'm going to show you what it looks like with the GoPro Hero 8 on the auto settings. So now, once again, this is the GoPro Hero 8 back in auto settings. And if you look, not so overblown over here. So I think that when Freewell adds the ND32, it'll be the perfect daytime ND filter set. Let's stick it in the computer and take a look and see how it looks. By the way, here's one of the cons that I found with the case. And it's the only con I can find besides not having an ND32. I want you to listen to the audio. So when I shake the camera left and right, that is actually the camera still moving around and banging inside the case. So maybe just a little rubber or foam to fit on the outside edges would really help a lot. That way it would firm up the camera and keep it from making that noise. So what are my final thoughts about the ND filter solution for the GoPro Hero 8 from Freewell? I like this pack. I think it's very well made. I like the quality of the case that they made. The filters, they work really well. As far as a con, I would say that there's only two. This setup really needs an ND32 for those really bright situations, especially if you want to keep your ISO at 100. And also the second part is the inside of the case needs some type of foam cushioning so that the GoPro Hero 8 doesn't rattle around inside the cage like you heard earlier. But all in all, it's a very nice little solution for the GoPro Hero 8 Black. Links in the description below, and as always, until the next video, I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.